Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Carl Hinder. I'm the business coach with Salon Help, and welcome. Welcome to QCTV, Quick Coach TV, which I run every Wednesday evening. I think for about the third year this year. We are doing a bit of an experiment tonight. You might have noticed we're not on the normal StreamYard system. We are straight into Facebook. I want to see who's out there. I want to see out there who we can connect with. And we are only out on one platform, guys. We're out on one platform, and that is the Salon Help business page. So let's see who's out here tonight. I'm just having a look through this system as we go. I wanted to see if Facebook can actually keep up with the new systems that are around. Okay, let's have a look. If you're on here, please make a comment. Please say, hi, Carl, I can see you. Carl, I can hear you, because I do know that on Facebook Direct there is a bit of a time lag. And I'm just going to just see if we've got any features here for questions or polls. Yeah, we've got loads and loads and loads of things. But let's see who's out here tonight. So, guys, I'm going to talk to you tonight about time management. I'm going to talk to you about time management. I'm going to talk to you about work-life balance. First of all, make sure you've got yourself a drink. Make sure you got yourself some space. And if you want to invite someone along, please do that as well. I'm struggling at the moment to actually see if anyone is following at all. Doesn't there's no one showing up. Oh, we've got 4 viewers at the moment, it says. Good evening, says Cheryl. Thank you for joining me, Cheryl. And thank you for joining me, Greta. I can see Greta, Cheryl. Salon Helper said, um, oh, change is going to happen anyway. Yeah, there's a statement that I was thinking about earlier today. Change is going to happen anyway. If you're deciding, or you are deciding whether it's done to you, or are you going to decide if it's done by yourself? Change is going to happen anyway. So that's the kind of thing that you want to start thinking about. So where are we? We've got a few people on board, not an army of people. Mandy Williams, hi Mandy. Great to see you come over this evening. So guys, bit of an experiment going on tonight. It doesn't change what I'm going to do with you and for you. We are only on the Facebook Salon Help page. I want to see who's coming into this area. We are normally out on 8 different platforms, but for the next few weeks, we're only going to be on here or on the group, and then we're going to work a few things out, and we're going to get back to it, okay? So at least I can see all of your names when we go directly with Facebook, and we know this is being shown around the platform. If you need to watch it on rerun, please come back. Now, let's make a start, is it? I got a feeling there isn't going to be an army of people here tonight. I have gone on to other groups and told them we are here. So let's see what happens. We got up to about 6 viewers so far, guys. Not exactly a rolling storm, but it is great. So sorry about the background, guys. We can't get the special effects on Facebook. And besides, I'm having to move house, guys, in the next couple of weeks. And we got all our backdrops are gone, and it's all a bit chaotic. So I hope everyone's kind of having a really, really good week. I'm getting some great feedback, some great results from clients. So I hope things are good. We got Mr. Voley on board as well, and we've got Kevin on board as well. This is great. Hey guys, this is turning into an MNP night. Massive, not passive. Where's the rest of the world? Let's start talking, is it? Listen, I can help you guys even if the others don't want to help themselves. So, let's kick it out there. I want to throw a few things around. I'm going to be working with the wonderful Claire Sherman over the next few weeks, and we are going to look at this subject. We are going to do a session over at MNP, so you're not going to miss out. We're going to do one in the big group. We're going to do one on this page. We're going to be talking about time management. We're going to be talking about overwhelm. We're going to be talking about work-life balance. And if you don't know Claire, guys, Claire is a psychotherapist. She's a counselor. She's going to make sure that we kind of deal with your problems from the psychological point of view. I'm going to make sure that I help you deal with your problems from a business point of view. We're going to be formidable, guys. We're going to make sure that there's nowhere for you to run and you're going to take action, okay? What I want you to ask questions about tonight is anything that's bothering you regarding time management or work life balance. Let's try and keep it to that. So, this isn't a workshop. It never is. QCTV is Quick Coach TV. It's all about you having problems, getting the questions out as quickly as possible, me getting you some answers. I want you. My my plan, my mission, if you like, is for you to wake up tomorrow morning and do something different, right? That's what this is all about. Okay, so just been watching MNP. It was a good session last night, Rebecca. Really kind of informal. Um, the guys really kind of put some good class stuff together, and I think I coached them. Lovely. It was a lovely evening. Right. So let's start off with this work-life balance thing. And I'm going to come out there, as you would expect. I'm going to tell you, look, there is no work-life balance. There is no such thing. A work-life balance means that something is perfect, right? Because if it's not perfect, it means one end is heavier than the other end, okay? For something to balance, it has to be absolutely perfect. So everyone who says, "Ah, I'm looking for a great, the work-life balance," you're not going to get it. I think you can have a holistic approach to what is contained in your work and in your life. But why does a balance indicate that you have to have a 50-50? You have to, don't you? It means basically, if you want to have a balance, you're going to have 50% on this end of the weighing scale and 50% on this end of the weighing scale, right? Because if you put 60 on one end and 40 on the other, it doesn't balance. But I think that's misleading to you. I think you have got a problem and you're misleading yourself. You're misleading yourself when you actually say, I want a work life balance, because you can't have it. Because you're saying, I've got to have 50% of my life as work, and the rest of my life, which also includes all my hobbies, my family, my holidays, is the other 50%. So I want to say to you, first of all, on the work life balance, forget it. Forget thinking about it like that. It isn't a work life balance. Just think of, you have a great life. And it's made up of a lot of different things, right? It's made up of your family, and it's made up of your motorbikes, and it's made up of travel, and it's made up of food, and it's made up of study, and it's made up of work, and it's made up of all sorts of things. And you make that holistic thing as good as you can for you. Yeah, you have your best life, guys. So stop saying work life balance. It's not real. Because, lots and lots of people know me. I'm really happy with it to not balance. I don't want my life and my work. And maybe I want to do 70% work and I only want 30% of other things in my life. Yeah, who are you to say? Who am I to say? Who are we to say to each other that you should have a certain amount of value in any particular part of your life? So, first of all, it's the wrong thing to do. I want the perfect work life balance. You're not going to get it. You're never going to have it. How can you? Imagine you did have the work life balance, the perfect work life balance, and you're saying, right, I've got it so right now. Only one thing has got to change. You've only got to get a promotion, okay, or a demotion, and your work life balance is gone. Then you're going to put yourself under pressure, aren't you? You've only got to change jobs, all right, or change the way you do business, and you've got to put more time, more hours, and more effort into the new salon, into training more staff. Now all your hours are over here. You can't balance that, can you? So a work-life balance to me is not real. It's not a thing you can do, and you're thinking of the wrong kind of imagery to describe your life. That's what I'm worried about for you, okay? I'm worried that this work-life balance isn't a real thing, all right? You need to start thinking, what do I want from my life? And can I create each of those things? And for those of us that want to work more, those of us that want to ride bikes more, those of us that want to spend more time with your family, etc., etc. So that's the first thing we got to start thinking about on work-life balance. Is it really ever going to balance? Is it ever going to be perfect? And even should it be? The second thing I want to think about is this. Why are we making, or why do so many people make work the enemy? Why do we talk about work like that? And when I talk about work, by the way, I'm not talking about jobs. I'm talking about you as salon owners. I'm talking about what you could and should be achieving. Why is it a negative thing? Why is it the awful part of your life? Why can't it be the great part? Why isn't it the lovely part? Why isn't it the enjoyable part? Why can't it be like that for me and for some other people? So you've got to stop, kind of ostracizing or criticizing people who do the work part, because it doesn't matter if that's what if that's what they want to do, that's what they can do. But also, it's a part of the balance, isn't it? It's part of the life. It's part of the whole scenario. So you're putting yourself under a lot of pressure, guys, if you start thinking, I've got to have the work-life balance. Now, let's think about this work-life balance, by the way. Where is this work-life balance thing coming from? It's coming from, right? It's coming from other people in your life. Who's giving you the work-life balance issue? You've got examples, right? You've got partners. Your husband or your wife wants you to come home so you can have the evening together. Your husband or your wife wants to have weekends with you. Your children are putting you under pressure because you think you've got to go to sports day, or you've got to watch TV with them on a Saturday night. Okay, your friends are putting pressure on you because they think that you should go with them on holiday, or you should go with them down the pub, or you should go with them to an event, or go with them to the cinema. You see, it's not work life balance that's the problem. It's that you are interpreting their pressure as you needing more of the life part of it. You think because your children, your wife, your husband, and your friends are trying to demand your time, you interpret that as, oh, well, the only place I can get more time from is if I take it from the work side, right? So that makes work the evil part of your life, the evil part of your picture, right? That's where you're going wrong. Your friends, if you had the right friends that understood your scenario, your husband, your wife, should not be the pressure that's making the work the problem. Your children, of course, are not going to understand, but it's up to you to bring them up in a way that they do understand. You do not have to be there every single sports day, okay, to see some, 6-year-old jumping around with their legs tied together. You're not missing much, okay? You're not missing much, guys. They're not missing you. They're not going to remember. But what they will remember is that you didn't have a successful business, and mom or dad was always stressed because they didn't have a successful business. So, you see, what I'm saying to you, whether it's me speaking or whether it's your family or your friends, it's a position, it's pressure for you. And I don't care if you listen to any of us. What I want you to do is listen to yourself and say, this is what my life is like. This is what my life is about. This is not my balance. This is my holistic, this is my 100% piece of my life. It's just my life. There's no such thing, in my view, as work and life. You can't separate them, can you? You can't have one or the other. You just can't. You can't say, I'm just going to have the life part, right? I know lots of people since lockdown, I say, I'll just have the life part. You can't just have the life part, guys, because then you got nowhere to live. You got no accommodation. You got no friends. You got no food. You got no sustenance. Okay, you got no clothes, right? So you can't do that. And you can't obviously do just the work thing, although lots of people I'm sure have tried over the years, because we know that that's going to have possibly an effect on other parts like your health. So you can't just have one without the other. It's just one thing. So stop thinking work life balance, because no such thing. Okay? I'm coming out of the closet and I'm saying, guys, no such thing as work life balance. There's just work and life. It's the same thing. You just got life, guys. All right? Put your questions up, you guys. I want to make this as interactive as possible. I want to help you with things that are on your mind. I want you to kind of. This isn't about you challenging me, by the way, but if you want to go ahead and challenge me, I want to know what are you challenged with. Carl, how am I supposed to deal with that? How do I. Don't ask me how to deal with your husband or your wife, by the way. Okay? Maybe you've got the wrong husband or the wrong wife, or maybe you've got the wrong friends, or maybe you've got to re educate them. Okay? Maybe that's a question and an answer for Claire when she joins us as a psychologist. I just want to say to you, forget about the work life balance. There is no work life balance. It's never going to balance because if I want 80% work, which gives me loads of energy, guys, and I hope it comes across, I love it. I would do more if I could. And if I did 20% of my life, which is, high octane, fast, it's quality time with my family. We do quality things. We do the holidays, we do the houses, we do the things that we want to do. When we together, we have top quality time. Our interaction is great. Our study time, all that sort of stuff. If I want to do that, how is that going to balance? How can 80% on one side balance with 20? It just isn't. It's just one thing. I've seen some comments here. My work life balance is short at the moment because of my mother's need. Greta, and it always will be, not because of your mother, it always will be if you're going to try and balance. That's my point. You can never balance it. Let's say you had perfect balance today, Greta, and your mother wasn't an issue and work wasn't an issue. Look, something will come along next week. Inflation, balance gone, right? Because now I don't enjoy work. Now I can't pay the bills. Now my stress is gone, right? Now I've got to go to work more because I've got to pick up the pieces. It's not a real thing, guys. Work life balance isn't real. A Just a life, the best version of your life is what you should be looking for. And sometimes, to use the old adages, if you like, sometimes this balance, by the way, sometimes this balance is more about what things are important at that time. So, Greta, here's your answer if you like. Your mother, I know she's always been an important part of your life, may have more importance at the moment. So, should people or should you be criticizing yourself by saying, my mother now needs a focus? Okay, for X, Y, Z reasons. Therefore, my business is now not getting the attention. See, you're out of balance if you want to use that. But you're not out of balance, are you? It's the reality of what you've got to deal with. It's the reality of, well, at this moment in my life, the focus has to be here. At the moment in my life when you're bringing up children, yeah, your focus has to be here. When you've got a young business, your focus is on growth and development. When you're trying to expand the business, it's on getting more units, more people. When you have a stable business, it's on maybe cost control, maybe it's on branding in a different kind of way. Maybe it's about structures, maybe it's about systems. You see, stop thinking about work life balance. None of you are ever going to have it. It's just going to be the best holistic version of you at the time. Now, just because you don't like work, that doesn't mean that you now have to go and use that time on things that are arbitrary. And that's where I want to go into the next phase. I now want to talk to you a little bit about time management, all right? I don't want to make a big session out of this tonight, but we'll keep touching, all right, on work-life balance. But I want to, it is highly connected with time management. And let me tell you why it's connected with time management. It's because whatever you're doing, whether it's a personal issue or whether it's, let's say, I don't know, I don't know, I'm going to get my car cleaned, or whether it's a work issue. So those of you that have worked with me before, the MNP guys for sure, will know that I talk about Parkinson's law. The key thing with Parkinson's law, guys, is that Parkinson's law states that a task takes the the time takes the exact amount of time that is allotted to it. Okay, so let's say you decided, right, I'm going to clean my car this week. You will clean your car this week. Or let's say I've got to order some stock this week. Well, then you will take this week to order the stock. Let's say you I've got a month to get this stock ordered. then what you will do, you will get that stock ordered this month, probably in the last week of the month, but you'll get the stock ordered this month. If you said, I got 3 months to order the stock, you would probably order it within 3 months, but towards the end of the 3 months. And if you said, I've got a year to order the stock, well, you probably won't order it. You will have forgotten by then, but you're probably going to order it towards the end of the year. And this is the next phase of problem for you. You're allowing yourself too much time to achieve things in your business and your personal life. And this is part of the reason why you can't get your old version of balance. I don't even want to talk about that. I'm going to come up with something better. I'm going to use holistic for tonight because it's just life. Things in your life are not given the right amount of proportionate time because you're procrastinating, because you're allocating too much time to the task. Does that sound familiar to any of you? Can you identify with that? Let's say that you've got to do something by Saturday this week. Let's say by Saturday this week you've got to write a letter to a friend. What's the chances that tonight you won't write that letter to a friend? The chances are tonight you're going to watch this, you're going to grab yourself a beer, you're going to grab yourself a nice cup of tea or some supper, and maybe you'll go and watch a little bit of TV and say, oh, relax. I got to get that letter done by Saturday. And it's that principle, that Parkinson's law, that is stopping you from using your 24 hours as well as you could. That's the first thing that is stopping you. So don't worry, MNP guys. I'm not going to do the massive not passive session, which is already in there for you, and we went into some detail. But it's really important that we share the bigger and broader strokes with everyone out there, because the more people we can affect, the more people that we can influence, the better chance that they have of a better holistic life, right? More chance from the angle I'm concerned about that they're going to have a better business. So I'm going to talk a bit more about time management in a moment because that is the thing, wasn't it? Isn't it? Last night I was asked, I'm overwhelmed, Carl. Where do I start when I'm overwhelmed? Those of you that are overwhelmed now on this or rerun, think about it. Where do I start? And you start by working out what you got to do and what time allocation you have for doing those things. All right? It's like running the marathon. You work out, right, what have I got to do? Well, first of all, I better get some clothes and some. Then I've got to get fit. Then I got to get, good nutrition. Then I got to kind of work out a pace. I've got to do this so much in so many miles. And I've got to keep this pace up and I've got to take on this much fluids. You see, you work it all out spaced out like that. We are not doing that in our businesses. We're not doing that in our lives. We're either sprinting to the next problem or we are never getting to the next problem because the problem's coming to us. We are so laid back about dealing with it. Questions? Did we have questions? I seen someone. Um, it's Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Lovely to see you this evening. Um, I'm going to come back up to Cheryl's in a moment. Procrastination, I'm brilliant at it. Do you know what? I think um, I was going to say the UK, but I don't think it's true. I think it's true all over the world. I think there are some world beaters when it comes to procrastination, Greta. They are everywhere. And, you know, I've said this sentence a few times in two different ways. I've said procrastination is the death knell of many, okay? And procrastination will kill more dreams than business alone ever did, okay? Than ambition ever did. Procrastination will kill everything in your life. I'm talking about business more than anything, of course, right? It takes out the energy, it takes out the focus, and that's the trouble with procrastination. It takes out the opportunity. You know, you think about the people that have joined Massive Not Passive over the last year, and I'm so proud of you all. But the people who have procrastinated, okay? The price on MNP is twice as much as it used to be, and that procrastination has cost them financially if they want to join now. Think about what it's done to their business. That procrastination, they were losing £50,000 last year, or they were losing £5,000. Well, they've lost another 5 or 10 or 20,000 this year. Procrastination, my God, guys, it it's killing your business. What did Cheryl say? Cheryl said, "My life is full of." Oh, sorry. Cheryl said, "Try it again." It's full. A combination of lots of things. I don't separate it really. I work a lot, but my life is great. That's what I'm getting at, Cheryl. And I thought about this for a very, very long time. I've talked about work life balance in the past. I've always said it's work life balance. And it's only over the last maybe 12 months or so that I've really started to reassimilate that why it's not a balance. It's got nothing to do with balance because work, when you're ambitious, when you're trying to open a salon, when you're trying to get new staff, when you're trying to exit, whatever you're trying to do, the work part changes. And let's say you're having a work life balance, and in your view, it's perfect, all right? And you say, my work life balance is now perfect. And then you go and have two children. It's not perfect anymore, is it? Right? It's unbalanced. And now what are you going to do? You say, oh, well, I'm still now looking for the new work life balance. It doesn't exist. You're just saying, I'm looking for the best life. Sometimes work takes up 10%, sometimes it takes up 80%, sometimes it takes up 12 hours a day, sometimes it'll take up 3 hours. And that is where we are going wrong when it comes when we've started now to come out of the pandemic, because people cannot identify now between reality and what they experienced during pandemic. People now think that work-life balance means I only work 3 days a week. People think that's a real thing. And as I was speaking last night, you can't make a decision. You can't make a decision about anything in your life or anything in your business um, in isolation. Nothing at all. You can't, for example, say, I'm going to divorce my wife and say that's the only thing. No, you're not, because now you've got to do something with the house, right? Now you've got to sell a house. And if you've got children, you've got to say, now we've got to look at care for them, and we've got to maybe move house, and we've got to move schools, and we've got to look at childcare. Nothing you can do in your life or nothing you can do in business can be done in isolation. And it's the same with people who think, all right, there we go. I really enjoyed my time off during the pandemic. Therefore, I'm never going to work Saturdays again. Good on you. But something has happened for you to do that, or you've had to create something, or you have disrespected another part of your life or another person in your life. So you can turn to your partner, can't you? And you can say, I'm not working Saturdays anymore. I never liked it anyway. I don't think I should have to. And your partner says, oh, well, you carry on then. I'll just keep working harder so you don't have to. You see, whatever you do can't be done in isolation. And it's okay, guys. You want to go from 5 days down to 3 days. You want to go from a big business down to a small business. That's great. But it isn't going to take away your mortgage. All right? The mortgage company isn't going to say, hey, isn't it been great this pandemic? I know you don't want to work those days anymore. You take it easy. I'll just knock off 100 grand off the mortgage. Have a bit of fun. Enjoy your life. You're not going to do it, guys. If you're going to do 3 days, they're going to go from 8 hours to 12 hours. Or you're going to do 3 days, you're going to get a different job and go from £8 to £25 an hour. Something has to change. So whenever you're doing something in your business, I'm not really, a counselor, so don't worry, I can't help you with your personal lives. Um, we'll get Claire to help you with that. What I want to say to you is when you do something in your business, you can't do it in isolation. Someone just messaged me 10, 20 seconds before I came on here tonight to say, how do I get more clients? Straight away. How do I get more clients, Carl, for my business? The answer is you can't just get more clients. You can't get clients in isolation. You've got to get clients in tandem and in conjunction with good marketing, with good pricing structures, with a good service offer, with well trained staff. See, nothing you can do in isolation. So you've got to stop thinking singular. You've got to stop thinking in a very, very narrow way. You've got to say, my work and my life and my family and everything is just one thing. And sometimes one has more attention than the other thing. It's never going to balance, but it's always going to be as great as I can make it. And I want you to think like that. Okay? And I'm coming out there and saying that because I don't want you to have unrealistic ideals that there is a work-life balance. Most of you know what my work-life balance is. I'll work for a very, very, very long time. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, no time off, no day off, nothing if I have to. And then I'll go away for a month or 3 months to ride my bike across the USA, or a month's trip here, or 2 weeks off, because that's my balance. But it doesn't balance, does it? How does 6 months balance with 1 month off? It doesn't. So forget it. It's just my best life. I love it. I love the work. I love the time off. I love my family. I love everything we do. So you've got to just have work on your best life, guys. Forget about this balance. Let's do a little bit more on time management, and then I think I'm going to get out there. We've been on 30 minutes. There's not too many people around tonight because we're doing this bit of an experiment. But it wouldn't matter if it's just you and I. We will help more, and obviously this will go on to rerun, and lots of people will see this over the next 24 hours. What other questions have we got? Okay, I always put. Rebecca says, I always try to. Oh, sorry, I don't like this system. I always try to put first the things that need doing the most, both at work. Yeah, well, okay. But Rebecca, there has to be a criteria to what you think needs doing most. For you now in the group, you can go and look at the first session and it tells you how to work all that out, okay? And all the sheets are there as well. But that's right. You have to prioritize what you have to do, right? We all have to prioritize it. Absolutely. You know, there's no point. I don't know. It's like building a house without foundations, right? That's why my coaching is called foundation coaching, because it's all very well going off. Oh, I tell you what I want to do, Carl. I want to learn how to be the best in the country at social media. Fantastic. Okay, now the foundation says, what are you best at? Why should I come to you? Oh, I don't want to do the hard stuff, Carl. I don't want to do the basic stuff. I don't want to do the stuff that everything's built on. So you're right, Rebecca. Is it Rebecca? Yeah, you're right that you should prioritize the most important things first. Absolutely, of course you could, because you can't prioritize everything. Cheryl, if people want to work less, then they have to expect less. And that isn't happening. They want to work less but get the same. It doesn't work like that. I agree to a degree, Cheryl, that if people want less, they have to expect less. The only reason I want to disagree with you a little bit is this. I don't want you, or anyone for that matter, to assimilate that working hard, and I know you didn't say that working hard is what I'm intimating. I'm not saying you have to work really hard to get what you want in the future. But what I am going to agree with you, Cheryl, you have to put in the right amount of effort at the right time into the business, or into your relationships, right? It's the same. Whatever you have to work on has to have the right amount of attention, right? So if work needs the attention for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, 4 years, then you're right. You can't do that less and expect a bigger result. So, in which case we are totally agreed. What I want people to think about is it's not about working harder. Lots of people say this to me. They say, Carl, I literally work 6 days a week, 7 days a week, actually. Some people, not me, some people work 6, 7 days a week. And what they're doing is they're working until maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. And that's all they're doing is justifying their actions. You see, their business brain knows, let's be honest, their business brain knows that what they should be doing is a blueprint. What they should be doing is making sure that every member of staff is properly trained on the right standards and held accountable. What they know they should be doing is make sure that everyone is highly trained on retailing, both narrow, wide, and on impulse. Okay, just three things I picked there. But all those things are difficult. All those things are challenging. So rather than do those things that will change your business and your life, I'm going to focus on working hard. I'm going to cut more hair. I'm going to work it every day. I'm going to be relentless. And I'm not saying that doesn't work in the sense of all the time you do it, it'll work, probably, but it's not going to be rewarding for you emotionally. And long term, long term, it's not going to be rewarding for you financially because at some stage, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years, or 20 years, you've got to lay down the scissors, or you've got to stop doing the eyebrows. And then there's a big chasm in your business. So you have to be careful, guys. You cannot work, as Cheryl's saying, you can't work less and expect more. What you have to do at the right time, put the effort in, and then later on, you can expect to work less. We're all trying to move to that model, aren't we, where we work less. Now, those people, I want you to be careful about. I don't know. I'm going to call them, the influencer types. No influenza, the influencer types, or the I don't know what you call them, soft coach types. I'll call them soft coaches. You know, the 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 ones that kind of have really really good imagery, and they tell you, oh, I only work a 4 hour month. I think someone said, right. And someone said, oh, sorry, 4 hour week. Someone was telling me about, and there's a book on it on how to just work the 4 hour week and all that sort of stuff, which is great. And I'm not saying that that shouldn't be an aspiration, but the reality is this, and this is what I want to talk to you about on time management. It's all very well saying, I only work 4 hours a month, but these people have got teams of 5 and 10 people, all right, working 40 hours each. All right, so they, got 200 or 400 hours of input into the business. So they're not saying I'm just going to work 4 hours a month, have 150K income, and everything is fine, because most of those people, and they're usually leaning on a Ferrari or something, right, are fake. Don't get sucked in by that, guys. If your business needs 100 hours of attention, you're probably starting off doing that yourself. And then you're going to employ someone, and you're going to say, right, my business now needs 60 hours of my attention. And then you're going to employ someone else. And when I say employ someone else, by the way, this is part of your time management. You know, your accountant is basically someone you're employing, right? Your bookkeeper is someone you're employing. Your social media manager is someone you're employing. Okay, these are people who are doing your hours, and that's where you need to be moving towards. If you want more of this holistic lifestyle, move towards the model where you aren't doing things and other people are doing them for you. So, yes, in theory, you could get down to your 4 hour working week or your 4 hour month or whatever they said. Either way, whatever the number is, it's a small amount of hours, but it doesn't mean that the business is being run on 4 hours, because you've got a small army of people all doing the different things. Okay, guys, what have we got? Any more questions? Um, yes, Cheryl says again, exactly. I think you should work hard to reap the bigger rewards later, but social media tells everyone they can have it all now. Look, I use social media, as you know, Cheryl. Um, I think it's one of the most amazing things for business as well as communication. But we have to be smart, don't we? We have to be smart when we see social media, and I think we've all got to wise up to it. And I think this has to be a certain amount of education about misleading information and fake news and all that sort of stuff. And it's one of the things that I pride myself on. I only ever come out and tell you as it is. I come out and tell you the truth, and I know I get criticized for it. I tell you in a way which is hard to take, and I get criticized for it. But I'm not going to be in a situation where I'm going to mislead you and say, listen, guys, off you go, 4 hour month, it can be done. Look, there's this influencer again, all right? You know, the next time I'm leaning on my motorbike or my car, you know, it isn't going to be to tell you, listen, I only worked 2 hours last month. Because if it was a true photograph, there would be, look, I only worked 2 hours last month, with an army of people behind me going, yeah, but we all did hundreds of hours, Carl. So be smart. Look, I know there's one or two people out there that have pressed a few buttons and made their millions on Bitcoin or something like that. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the the other 99.9% of the world. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about myself, right? The last few things. whilst you're thinking about all of this stuff, last few moments, guys, or last few minutes, I want you to start thinking about, well, Carl, I'm getting the work life balance thing with you now. I agree with you or I disagree with you, doesn't really matter. Um, there's no such thing as balance. It's never going to balance. Forget it. My life could be better, and I've got to realize that from time to time, different things get different priorities. For my business life to be in good shape, I've got to have systems and structures. And for me to have less hours doing that, if I want to, maybe you don't want less hours. Maybe you want more hours. Maybe you just love working, guys. All right? Why can't you just love that? You can if you want. But let's say you want someone has to do those hours. Someone has to do the functions. Unless you've got a robot, unless you've got an automated system, okay, like rebooking systems or automatic accounts. Either way, there's no such thing as just doing a 4 hour month and it's all sorted for you. Forget it. You're misled and forget about the balance. The last thing is this. When you wake up tomorrow morning and you agree with me or disagree with me, it doesn't really matter because you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and nothing will have changed for you because you wake up tomorrow morning and then, I don't know, you get yourself ready, then you got to go and wake the kids up, then you got to take the dog for a walk, then you got to go back and you got to do the ironing, then you got to clean, I don't know, the shed out or the house, then you got to get in your car, then you drive to work, then you got to talk to your staff, then you got to have a meeting, then you got to I don't know, do some stock orders. Then you got to do three clients. Then you got to meet a rep. Okay. Then you got a quick meeting with a coach. Then you got another three clients. Then you go home. Then you got to stop at the supermarket. Then you got to go and cook tea, right? And then you got to, I don't know, watch Netflix. And then you got to tidy up the kitchen again from the mess that you didn't tidy up when you left this morning. Nothing's going to change tomorrow, but that's where it starts. It starts tomorrow, and every time you do something from now on, think this: do I need to do this myself? Can I find a way of not doing it at all? Or can I find a way of someone else doing this thing? So, in your business, as an example, how many people do I speak to? How many people out there right now say, Carl, I actually do all my own social media? Why? Why do you, the salon owner, need to take a photograph, add some copy, walk over to the desk, put it on your phone, get it on the system, or get home after you've cleaned the kitchen at night, slump into the chair and think, I forgot to put a post out today? Why does that have to be you? Yes, you should have the strategy. Yes, you should decide how many posts and the quality of them and give them the time. That should be someone else. That should be someone like your front of house, or it should be someone like your social media manager, or it should be someone like your junior, or it should be someone who is capable of doing the function. When you're looking at your ordering, most of you are doing your own stock and order. I'm the only one who knows the stock. You don't need to know the stock, guys. Doesn't matter. When I was in supermarkets, we had 10,000 lines in grocery. I didn't know 10,000 lines. That's all I knew was I'm going to keep them in stock. We're going to use technology. We're going to use timing. We're going to use understanding. We're going to use logistics to make sure that these items are here. Holidays. Who organizes the holidays and control them in your business? It's you, probably. Why? So I want you to go through all of your tasks and say, who am I going to give this to? I just don't need to be doing SMS texts anymore. I just don't need to be doing the ordering anymore. I just don't need to be doing the cleaning anymore. I don't need to be painting these walls twice a year because I loving it, having it nice and fresh. I don't need to be building a reception desk myself. One of the guys is going to catch me on that, and so on. And then the same in your house. Be honest, guys. Let's do this. If you want the best life you're going to have, really, why are you still doing your own ironing? Okay, I don't mean like give it to the children unless you can. Why are you still doing your own ironing? Why are you still doing your own cleaning? And you're going to say it comes back to cost. And I'm going to say that's because your business hasn't found its true performance, hasn't found its true potential to be able to free up. Because that's no different, by the way, guys. If you are paying, say, um, someone to train your staff, or you're paying someone to do your social media, why to free up 2 hours a week? It's no different to paying someone to iron your clothes for 2 hours a week. I know you've got to generate the money, and that's what I'm saying. I'm a business coach, I'm a sales growth coach. I want you to actually grow your business to give you, I've always said this, haven't I? maximum uh, financial freedom and financial security. So do the same with that. Why are you walking the dog? Maybe you need the exercise. Okay, maybe you enjoy it and the exercise is good for you. But on pure time basis, why are you walking the dog? Give it to a dog walker. Say, come and collect them. I want an hour a day. Okay, I'm going to pay you £10 an hour. Great, because I'm back at the business and I can generate 50 quid an hour. And that's where time management problems are coming in. You're too protective, you're too money scared. Yeah, you're money blocked again about I can't afford to pay something, but you can because if you were doing the right things, as Rebecca said, in the right order, you would be able to get your working month down. I don't know about 4 hours, but you're not reducing your working hours. If you leave work early, seriously, come on. If you leave work early, let's say I've arranged my business, Carl. It's so good. All right. Thanks to you, Carl. Things are so good. I've organized everything. And so I can finish work at 4 o'clock every day. And I don't work Saturdays. And I say, great, well done. And then I say, what did you do the weekend? Uh, well, I spent the day cleaning the car. Then I cut the grass. But I had a cocktail and then I did the iron. So you just like stop doing one lot of work to go off and do another lot of work, right? See what I mean? There isn't no such thing as balance. It's just your best life. And was the iron in your best life? Was the garden in your best life? I don't know. Maybe you just love it. I'm going to take the last couple of questions. I hope that I've started to provoke your thought process about work-life balance doesn't exist. And on top of that, your time management is really there in front of you, and it's about you making choices. Okay, who have we got? Any more people? I see a few people have joined us over the last 45 minutes. Um, okay, I see Mr. Vorley. Lovely to see you. We're going to do some loves. Let's just do some loves and kisses around here. We've got one there for Rebecca. Um, and Rebecca has been watching MNP. That's good. She did say that earlier. We've got a new comment. Get your comments up here, guys, and then we're going to get out of here, okay? Um, Cheryl's comments. It's great to see you, Jennifer. Lovely to have you on here tonight. Procrastination is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, let's have a look what else we got. Last couple of questions. Right. Rebecca says that's a good idea about the ironing. Yeah, it's just an example, all right? Some people don't iron. Some people just go to work with creased clothes. Some people haven't got those types of clothes. Some households, everyone irons their own. I'm just giving you an example, all right, of like Greta says, by here, look, what's ironing, and some people are like that. So I'm just giving you an example that you have got enough time in your life. You've got 24 hours a day. There's people out there with 24 hours creating billions every day, millions every day, hundreds of thousands every day, multiple tens of thousands every day. And if you aren't with the same time allocation, it can't be because of time. It's because you are stuck with some kind of block. Okay, like I said, whether it's dog walking, whether it's ironing, whether it's house cleaning, it doesn't matter what it is. You've got to be able to have flexibility amongst your priorities. How's that? I think that's a good way of putting it. You'll have your priorities, and you've got to be flexible with them. Okay, then, guys, I think that's enough for one evening. I will be back next week on QCTV. Um, I don't know if Clay will be with me next week, but we are going to tackle this subject from different angles over the next few weeks. We want to talk to you as well about being overwhelmed, and we want to talk to you about this work life balance again and how you really, really feel about it. And we do want to talk to you about time management because there's a whole lot more to time management than what we're looking at. But I just want to leave you with this. Your time management is the key really to you achieving everything in your business and giving you flexibility in your personal life as well. Your work life balance, please start forgetting about balancing it and just have what did I just see someone put? Just have your hashtag living my best life. Okay, so good night, guys. thank you so much for all the help and support. I'll catch up with you again next Wednesday. Oh, and if you're in the big group, by the way, in my coaching group, the free one, please come along because tomorrow night at 8:30, I'm doing a pricing workshop. I'm going to take you through the key issues of pricing. And if we have enough time, I might even show you the inner workings of the pricing app. If you haven't got time, don't worry. I'll catch you again next week. MNP, I will see some of you at 10 o'clock on Monday and the rest of you at 8 p.m. Monday. Good night, guys.